another episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm Luscious Barbie and I'll be guiding you through today's episode. I'm so excited to present today's guests. On today's episode, we have publicist Chrishuara Haynie. We also have the owner of Doughboy Doughnuts, Melvin Roberson. And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The man in the kitchen, connecting the dots from entertainment to food, giving us wisdom every day. Give it up for our host, Ricky Booker.
Welcome to a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. There are so many things in the world that brings us together. Good food, little conversation does it every time. And In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers, we love feeding your soul. Today's guest, she's a writer, actress, publicist, and also a director. Let's give a warm welcome for Chrishuara Haynie. Hey, what's up, girl? Hey, you doing all right? Come on in here. We're going to talk a little bit about your disasters in the kitchen.
All right,
Come on over here. So, you doing okay? I know I asked you that already, but
I am.
I really love that your energy and you doing well because you made an announcement a couple weeks ago that kind of touched me. But
yes.
we're gonna continue to go. We're gonna keep doing what you're doing because you're a strong individual.
Thank you.
You've been doing a lot of things for a lot of people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yes, I have.
So we got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate
All right.
it.
So I know I always have a segment that I talk about people getting in the kitchen and just messing up something. Well, tell me your one disaster in the kitchen.
Ooh, okay. Well, it really wasn't my disaster,
Okay.
but I was there when the disaster happened. So I was very, very relaxed one day with a few of my family members, and one of my cousins was like, "Girl, I know how to fry the best chicken."
Here we go. Everybody can know how to fry chicken.
Oh yeah. So we were hungry, starving, and like I said, very relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And she went in the kitchen and started seasoning the chicken, and you can smell the seasoning. So we're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, she know how to season. And then next thing we know, we hear the fryer going, but it didn't smell like fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It started smelling like burnt chicken. And we all go in the kitchen and we see the chicken on the counter and it's burnt and looked like little blood coming out of it. And she didn't put no flour, no nothing on it. So she just did straight.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question. How long ago was that?
It's about 5 years ago.
Okay, so you know what she did, don't you? Because Wingstop do that every day. They don't put flour on nothing. They just
Really?
fry. Yeah.
But
so she
see,
made some
hers-
Wingstop. She just overcooked it.
She definitely overcooked it. It was looking, or maybe she cooked it too quick because it still had blood and stuff.
Well, you
coming
can have
out.
the grease too hot and put it in there, and then next thing you know,
Yeah.
she probably had it at 400 degrees instead of 350, and
Yeah.
then it's cooked fast. But anyway,
It
have you
wasn't
learned how to
good.
learn? Do you fry chicken?
I do. I can cook.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to
I throw
test.
down.
I'm gonna have to get some of that then.
I got some of that old Arkansas blood up in me.
I didn't know you was from Arkansas. What
Yeah,
part of
that's why my
Arkansas?
family, Little Rock,
Little Rock.
Camden, Waterloo, all them little
Okay.
countries down
All right.
there.
Yeah, you're right about that. Some good cooking down there.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna talk some more at the sit down while you eat some breakfast brothers. All right, we're here at the sit down with Chrishuara Haynie, and she ordered the catfish po' boy and a side of dessert. She the first guest at dessert, and our lovely Tanetta is bringing it.
Miss Chrissy, are you ready for us to feed your soul?
Oh, I am.
Oh, yes.
Let the church say amen.
Amen. No, I always usually let the guests get their first bite in, but you ain't no rookie to breakfast brother stuff. So
I'm not. But I'm ready. Okay.
go ahead. We sell a lot of those. And then whatever you don't eat, you can take it with you still too. So.
Okay.
But we're gonna jump right in, and I'm gonna let you finish chewing that up. You got some water to rinse it down. You can eat throughout as we're talking to. No worries, like we at home. Don't be shamed, girl. Don't be trying to be bougie on this show.
Not with this food.
Getting started in the entertainment business, you was pretty young at the time. So
Yes.
what made you decide to turn your career into that?
Well, I started out when I was about 4 years old. My parents would put me in JCPenney catalog modeling, PCJ commercials for hair. I did a Just For Me commercial, and I actually had got I did a episode on the show Dallas when I was like 6 years old. It was like the girl in the park, but I got to do acting there, and then just through school, I was acting, and then my family had a record label back in the day. It's called Jasmine Records. So a lot of the artists, a lot of people would come out to Dallas, and from UGK, Bun B, that's like I got to meet Pimp C when I was like 7 years old.
I never knew that about. I know you used to do a lot of rapping. You sound like UGK on some of the podcasts and the episodes I've seen you on as well before. So that explains it. And you've been doing a lot of things around Dallas. I remember this past year, being that I'm originally from Oklahoma City, you do an event that's the Black Wall Street. You do once a year too.
Yes.
How did that come about? You just did your history on it and wanted to do it here in Dallas too?
Yeah. So I actually went to school in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I started at Langston University for 2 years, and while I was at Langston University, I found out a lot of history about Oklahoma.
Right.
And even the Langston was like a former prison or something for like slaves or something.
I didn't know that. But
yeah, and I was like, really? So they end up converting it to a college. So it's HBCU.
Right.
So after doing that, and then also doing music in Oklahoma with some people from Tulsa, they really started telling me about the Black Wall Street. And so I've always said to myself, I'm always going to give back because I know my purpose, and it's to help and give back. So I just thought about it. Maybe like this year would have been my 3rd year. But I thought about it, and I was like, I have to do something to bring us together and make sure that we're supporting one another and make sure that we know what everyone is doing in the community, because a lot of times we get so caught up in life and we get so caught up in work, and we don't realize that you got a restaurant, this person has a donut shop, this person is doing this, but when you put everyone in the same room, you're able to connect those dots and build relationships.
And I've met a lot of people at that show that you had too, and probably 60% of them that all messaged us actually was able to be guests on the show too.
Yes.
So that
and thank you for that
networking system is positive, amazing. Years and years ago, you mentioned Langston, originally from Oklahoma City. I remember when I worked for a company called Scott Rice. We did a lot of the interior office furniture, and Langston had just started. I don't know what year it was. It's been a while.
Okay.
They started their hotel and culinary restaurant hospitality, and when you first drive into Langston, it's a white house.
Yes.
And the company I work for, we put all the furniture in there.
Okay.
Did not know years and years later I'd be in the culinary side of things and have my own restaurants. I wasn't paying attention to that. I was just delivering the furniture for it. So man, that was 92, 93 probably. That's a long time.
Oh yeah.
But in the Black Wall Street, Oklahoma City, and all that, it's a lot of history from the Langston. And all that. That's kind of like the Gap Band, Charlie Wilson. Their initials is that community that actually during them times that got burned down and wiped off the map.
Right.
And their initials, Gap Band, I think it was Greenberg, something. But that's where they got their name from, because Gap Band is originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So,
that's amazing.
But anyway, that is something. But you've done a lot of things for the community, just like I said with the Black Wall Street. Let's talk a little bit about how was your experience with Tracy Edmonds?
Oh, Tracy is amazing. She is an amazing person, a beautiful soul. While I was at Langston, I saw that they were coming down there to do College Hill, because she had already did an episode of College Hill at another school, and so they were telling everyone, go submit your tape, to be on College Hill. And I was like, no, I don't want to be on College Hill. Because this is the thing, when I went to school, I think I was like, I started at school in Dallas, but I ended up going to Langston. So I brought my daughter with me. So my mental wasn't like to go sit in the house with a bunch of people.
Right.
I'm like, no, I don't want to go in the house, but I want to work on the background of it. So I actually reached out to the other producer, the executive producer, and he was like, well, meet with Tracy, and if she finds it fit, you can do your internship with us. And that's how it happened. I mean, she sat down with me. She's a fellow Aquarius, so we sat down and she met me and just mentored me, and she told me like everything she was doing, how she got in her position, and moving forward. Even still to this day, I can reach out to Tracy and call her and talk to her.
Yeah, I just seen she's got another series of College Hill. She did one last year at TSU.
Yes.
And I just seen she just released another one. I watch all of them. I've been watching them since they first came out. But anyhow, with your brand, what's some of the things that's just, you can just name that just to you and to anybody else, just incredible, just a wow factor about it? Because I know you do, I watch you and you do a lot of things.
Yes, I do. Honestly, for me, I would just say, I try to always just build relationships.
Right.
try to maintain relationships with people and make sure that they're connected. Because I do work like with Baby and all these people, and just always making sure that they are connected and doing what they're really supposed to be doing.
And with everything we do when it comes to and you career driven, God is always there with you at all times. All the time, especially if you're doing the right thing and you're being obedient.
Yeah.
But it's still, I was talking to one of our producers before the show started, and we was talking about some things with a partnership he was in, and he said, "Man, have you ever heard this when Michael Jordan got on TV and he apologized?" Nah, I don't remember. He apologized to some of the athletes for making it look so easy. He said, "Bro, Ricky, you make it look easy to my partner, so sometimes it makes it harder." So what's some of the obstacles? It ain't easy to me.
It's not.
The obstacles that you've been through and you're going through now that kind of make you always wonder if it's going to change your plan.
Oh, you know what? I actually got that text message this morning. One of my friends, he's the Go DJ president. He texted me and he said, "Hey, what's your week looking like this week? I want to get on your calendar." And I started naming things. I was like, I have this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, woo-woo. And he's like, "Chrissy, you make it look so easy. I didn't know you had all that going on." And I'm like, social media is smoke and mirrors for a lot of people. You don't see everything that's going on. But for me, I'm the baby of my family, but I take care of my parents. I have elderly parents. They're 76 and 75. So while I have clients and things of that nature, I'm taking care of my parents. And then even myself, I was just diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
So that was something that I'm still kind of like, really, because I knew when I went to the doctor, it would be a situation where they would say, "Oh, it's nothing, you're okay. It's just, hormones kind of out of whack." But to hear her say that, it kind of like took me for a loop. And I'm still in the process of just like understanding everything. But it's people like you and even like Rodney and everyone that actually gives me that mental support I need to let me know like it's gonna be okay. Because I have my dark moments where I'm like, you know what, forget all this stuff. I don't want to do it no more. And
see, that part of it I don't see in you.
Yeah.
So with that, you're a strong female. And what's next?
So well, not even next, what's going on actually right now, I have a movie that I'm in. Shout out to J Rose. It's called King of Dallas.
Okay.
Me, Lady Jade, a lot of us. It premieres on June 17th. So that's our.
Oh, that's soon. That's Father's Day weekend.
Yeah. It's coming up. So we have that red carpet. My podcast, The Chrissy V Show, that has already started filming. So I'm trying to get a few more episodes in, and I got to get you on there.
Just tell me when.
Okay. And also have another movie where I was the casting director and script supervisor. It's called The Will to Win. That's dropping in September. I'm working on some movies in Atlanta. So I'm busy.
See what I mean? You just like that title, The Will to Win. So you keep going, you stay strong. And I'm happy you was able to come on the show with all what you got going on.
Yes, thank you.
And just let everybody know how they can keep up with you in the events if they want to keep up with you and follow you. Let everybody know.
Well, if you want to follow me, you can reach me at Chrissy, the CEO, on Instagram, Chrissy, the PR, on every other platform. And then I have TikTok, but my TikTok got banned. I don't know why. I was like at 80K and 1 million views.
I know why.
And they took
I'll
me
watch
down.
you. I know why. but this PG-13, we ain't on HBO.
Right.
We ain't twerking today.
No, we ain't. I learned that from my ancestors in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's where you can find me at.
Okay. All right, man. Once again, keep up much more section. You can take that with you. You can get it to go.
Okay, because I don't want to be playing with it.
That's right.
Eating and talking. I just want to eat.
Okay. Stay tuned. We got Melvin Roberson coming up next with Doughboy Doughnuts. All right, our next guest coming up, he's the owner of Doughboy Doughnuts. Let's give a warm welcome for Melvin Roberson. What's going on, brother?
How are you?
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming. Found out that he's an Oklahoma City. He's a Sooner, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the Oklahoma people get to see you too, Melvin Roberson, right from the city. Okay,
you already know.
We both of them. So, man, the donuts that you got going on is amazing to me. I ain't a dope boy, but I'm a fat boy. And man, what you doing, man, with them donuts? I watch it every day. I said, let me see what he got new.
Yeah.
So it's a concept, and that's what people don't understand. You have a promotions that's free to you. That social media is powerful.
Absolutely.
Man. It's just the way you utilize it to gain that engagement.
100%.
You're doing that well.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about. I always love asking this question. I want to know about a unique disaster that you've had in the kitchen so far.
All right, so if you're familiar with baking, you know about proofing. The proofing process, that is when you get heat and humidity, which helps your dough rise. So that's a very, very integral part of baking and of donuts. So back when I was a home baker, before I had my food truck, before I had the shop, before I was even really knew what I was doing, I would have donuts on cheesecloth spread out across my kitchen, and I had a mini fryer. I could only fry donuts 2 at a time, and I didn't have donut turning sticks, which look like drumsticks. I had my mom gave me these wooden spoons, so I used the handle of these wooden spoons to turn my donuts right. So I had donuts all over the place. I had a big order for a place in Fort Worth. I ain't gonna name any names. I don't want to put them on blast, but. I dropped the ball. I was trying to pick up donuts and put them in fry and everything, and they overproofed. And then I'm running around in the kitchen and I'm sweating. I'm running out of time. So when you pick up those donuts and they're light and they're fluffy, they pretty much collapse. So you don't have this nice, right? You don't have this nice, pretty, tall-looking donut. It just looked like a pancake.
I used to make me and my sister donuts when we was kids.
Yeah.
I used to get the biscuits.
Okay.
And I would take them out of the pan. I would soften them. I'd take my finger and I punch a hole in
There you
it,
go.
kind of pull them out, make
There
them
you
round.
go.
Then I put them in deep fry, and then I would take either cinnamon and sugar, and I would roll them in sugar. And we had our own donuts, but I did that with Pillsbury biscuits.
Man, that sounds good right now.
But I never got into the donut business. I just know we liked them, and you know, around them times, man, your parents weren't going and buying no Dunkin' Donuts, nothing like that, or nothing like that. You had to be creative. So
Absolutely.
I was creative in the kitchen. So I've been cooking a long time. I came up with some stuff, but man, we're gonna talk more at the sit down about Doughboy Donuts, because you have some unique things that you be having going on with baking and all kinds of stuff. All right, we're here at the sit down with Melvin Roberson of Doughboy Donuts, and he ordered French toast and KOD wings. I love it. Tanetta's bringing it.
Mr. Melvin, are you ready for us to feed your soul?
I am.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Have you been to Breakfast Brothers before?
Never.
This your first time?
It's my first experience.
Yeah. So now you experience it this way. You're going to have to come to the restaurant and experience it at the restaurant.
Yes,
You
sir.
and the family.
All right.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you get your first bite in.
How should I get into it?
Man, it's like me and you was at your house getting ready for the OU game.
All right. Yeah.
Don't be sitting here acting all proper now. But yeah, we have our own special sauces, which is this one right here, and that's the KOD sauce.
Okay.
And French toast is fresh from the bakery every week.
Oh, good.
That's the cinnamon brochette bread that we use for the French toast.
I love it.
So yeah, you're gonna have to go check it out. But you got a brand too that's amazing to me, man. And I want to let's get right into this. That's the background before Doughboy. What's your background before you started Doughboy Donuts?
So my background is one of those, I never knew what I wanted to do, but my uncle did get me started in restaurants. So since I was 16, I always worked in restaurants. I've held pretty much every title but GM. I've bought stables, I've been a host, server trainer, kitchen manager, and most recently I was a kitchen manager at a steakhouse.
Okay.
So a lot of food experience, but then I tried to do other things. Like at one point I was trying to be a police officer, and then I wanted to be in car rentals. So I worked at the airport and I was going through the training to work in car rentals too. So tried a little bit of everything, but then the service industry just drew me back in. So food's always been my passion, and I'm glad I can keep that going with Doughboy.
That's kind of what happened to me. I've done everything. I managed artists at custom shops. I made a living from it, but I cooked all my life, but at home. I never got into restaurants. And once we put that little trailer behind our nightclub and it did what it did, my mindset shifted totally on that because it was working.
Absolutely.
So I understand sometimes you be all over the place in the beginning, but it's the second part of your life that God give you if you pay attention to it. You know, you got guys, I go as far as back to the founder of McDonald's. When he did what he did, he was 50.
Right.
You know, you look at Quincy Jones, you know, I think he was 60 something.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get in them stages of 50, 60, 45, 40 years old.
Absolutely.
During the time, that's your peak times. It's time to go now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But man, getting started with the donuts, where did that come in? I know how you just got back into the service industry, but just what made you say, you know what, I'm finna do this?
At the time, there wasn't a gourmet donut spot. I live in Fort Worth, so there wasn't a gourmet donut spot in Fort Worth. And I saw this place online. They were in St. Louis. They had these crazy donuts with bacon and Oreos, all this stuff, and I've always been kind of a chubby kid, so I was like, man, like I want to experience that. That sounds awesome. You know what I mean? So my mom and I drove to Dallas. We tried out a place in Dallas, and I don't know why. I'm like, I can do better than this.
Yeah,
but
I know why, because you could.
Yeah, but at the time, like looking back, I've made a lot of mistakes. I put out a lot of bad products, and I've messed up a lot of wasted a lot of money trying to get that R&D down to where it came out to what it is today. So, but yeah, I just went for it. Started making donuts, taught myself how to make donuts. The average donut or your average corner donut spot, they use a mix. I didn't know that at the time, so I started watching YouTube. I'm like, okay, they use a mix. So I did that. I'm gonna use a mix. That's what everybody does. But it just didn't feel right, just because I know in our household, my household, probably yours too, it would have been in a black family.
Right.
You make everything from scratch.
Everything from scratch.
You don't have mixes and all that
They
stuff.
said, what's the ingredients are? It's right here.
Like
when I had to do an ingredient book for Breakfast Brothers, they said, man, how do you gonna train all your cooks to do this? I say, well, I just tell them, you gotta have some kind of book to where if you ain't around, it still runs on. So I do get it. So it was all in my head from the beginning.
Right. So
yeah,
I taught myself how to make donuts. It was yeast, and yeast is a living organism. You know what I mean? I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how to feed yeast. I didn't understand temperatures and how to activate it properly and what could kill it. And so, I mean, for a while, I was serving bagels to people. You know what I mean? Wow. I thought they were donuts, but those were bagels, man. Wow. They were hard. They were super dense. But and I mean, it's been 8 years. You know what I mean? And where we are now to where we started, man, it's incredible.
Man, your craft. And like I said, I hadn't went there and eaten it yet, but I just watch you, how you prepare things and how you do it on your IG, and it just, I'm sitting there watching, and it just make your mouth water. And I said, who does bacon and on a donut? But people used to thought I was crazy. Who does pancakes and catfish?
Yeah.
So, you know, those things was just,
we do.
Like Michael Jackson would say, it's just in my head. It's just coming from nowhere. Hee hee. Yeah. But that's what it is, man. You know, the best drum player don't know how to read sheet music.
Yeah,
sometimes
just get after it.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And you had something that you wanted to do. So coming up with the names, you just come up with the names and you create something.
It's nothing sexy about it. It's just what does it sound like? You know, what does it look like? What does it taste like? How does it resonate with you? You know what I mean? And then boom, like you're there. So we've got sriracha maple bacon, which is what it is. It's a maple glazed donut. It's got a piece of sriracha candied bacon on top.
You said the sriracha was low, so you started using something else.
Yeah, there's a sriracha shortage. So we're just doing crispy bacon for right now. And a lot of people would be turned off by the sweet and the heat of the sriracha, but that's our signature donut. And it's one of those things where I wanted to stick to my product, and that this is what we offer. I'm sorry you can't get a regular maple bacon donut here. This is not what we are. But now
you want to do what? Stick to what?
Stay in my lane. That's my product.
What I'm saying. Stick to your product.
Yeah.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
If it's working for you, leave it like that. Now, the breakfast donut. What is the breakfast donut?
The breakfast donut's got maple glaze. It has bacon bits. It's got 2 mini pancakes, and it's got a pipette of maple syrup on top also.
Wow. I gotta go.
We got our donut breakfast sandwiches too. So that's kind of like a weird thing for people, where you can get a bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese. We got the Doughboy, which is a grilled donut. You got American pepper jack, cheddar cheese, bacon, sausage. You can add egg to it, add maple glaze to it. My mom makes fresh strawberry jelly. So I mean, we can get real weird with it if you want to.
Now that you're doing this and you crafted the donut part of it, and it's your brand, what's the overall aspect? What is your big plans moving forward?
My big plan is building a team that can help me grow it. I think that's the more important thing. I think having the one location is great. We do catering. We have a food truck. We do wholesale. We do a lot of things within our business, so it's multiple businesses within one. And now it's just having that team that can help me grow and expand. Because I mean, I can't do it all myself.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. It's one of the things to where once you become a plan, you know, you see that a lot on Shark Tank, where people go in and they do their presentation. Next thing you know, somebody invests and they blow up, and then sometimes they don't invest and they blow up on its own. Right. But creative enough, your brand is there. All you gotta do is look at it and see what vision that you put in front, man. When it comes to that, like I said, I'm getting out there and come and try it. It's gonna be my first. I gotta wake up and come. So I live in City Hill, so I'm gonna take the bag. I'm gonna take 67, 287. I'm gonna get in that area, but I'm gonna get in there to get some of them donuts, that breakfast donut. Yeah. But we're gonna come see you on that. But man, and I enjoy watching how you put it together. The other day you was doing donut holes, just flipping them. Like we flipped the wings. I was like, man, so I do watch it.
Yeah.
I do watch it. I pay attention. I ain't making no donuts. I'm gonna come eat, but I think you got an amazing brand, and people need to recognize that more. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and how they can follow you.
Yeah, Doughboy Doughnuts across all platforms, Instagram. I think we do have a TikTok account also. I think I'm an old head now, so I don't post much. But Instagram, Facebook, you can find us at Doughboy Doughnuts.
And Doughboy is spelled D-O-U-G-H.
B-O-Y, and then Doughnuts, the shorter version, not the longer.
What's the location, address, and phone number?
Yep, 291 West Hidden Creek Parkway. It is in Burleson, Texas, south of Fort Worth. And the phone number is 682-841-7797.
Now come on, people, come support, go watch and see, look at the donut. If you don't believe me, look at their IG and it'll tell you. And it'll show you what their brand is about. Man, thank you so much, Melvin, for coming on. And also, Oklahoma City guy.
Right,
we both from Oklahoma City. Boomer Sooner. What say? Boomer Sooner. Okay. But anyway, if you wanted something that you seen today on the show, chicken and waffles, catfish po' boy, join our team and come check us out at Breakfast Brothers. We got 3 locations. The new location is 3704 West Camp Wisdom. That's in the Red Bear area, Dallas, Texas. We're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the foundation is Arlington. We open 6 days a week, close on Tuesdays, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And our newest concept is called Breakfast Brothers Express. We're early a.m.s and overnight for the weekends for the club goers. So you get out the club, you want some breakfast, you want some chicken and waffles, we're there for you at 12 a.m. midnight to 2 p.m. in the evening. See us there, 921 West Commerce Road. We're in the design districts. See you next week. I'm your host, Ricky Booker.
Now at Breakfast Brothers Arlington, you can charge your Tesla right here and have a delicious meal while you wait. Come and check us out right here at 130 East Bardin Road, Arlington, Texas. Hope to see you soon.